Good morning and welcome to My Morning Commute. This is the green shirt Booger edition. Do you like my green shirt? This is really bright green shirt. It will allow others to see me clearly, so when I'm crossing the street I won't get hit by cars, hopefully. Not that I'm going to be crossing the street. And not that I have issues with almost being hit by cars, but you never know. So, this morning I will vow to you, my audience, to flick my nose less. Flick my nose. You remember the last one? I was flicking like crazy. I don't know what that was all about. I do. I think I know what it's about, maybe. It's my nose hairs. My nose hairs are just, they're going crazy. They got something going on. It's like they're multiplying at an ungodly rate. And, it's completely unnatural. And I think something's going on. I think there's a conspiracy going on. A nose hair conspiracy. They're doing something. They're up to something. They've got a plan. I'm just not sure what it is. They are the inhabitants of my nose, and they don't pay rent. I don't charge them a dime, but they're scheming, man. Something no good is up. So look, if I end up floating in a river, or get in a car wreck, just let the police know that my nose hairs are certainly suspect. Okay, anyway, what was on my mind this morning was the idea of the Christian church in America, and this pertains to the world, but in America specifically, I want to talk about. It's the notion that the Christian church is like broken up into these numerous denominations. Something ridiculous like I read like maybe something as much as 1,200 of them. 1,200 different denominations. And that's fine, if they want to do that. But what the thing is that they call themselves collectively the church. And I never really did get that. When they say, the church in America, I used to listen to the Christian radio stations years ago, and talk shows, and they would say that, the church. They would refer to the church in America, and I thought, well, who are you talking about? Because, there are all these groups, and none of them really seem to, they don't agree. That's why they have the different denominations. And it's like, well, to me, I've always thought about that, or not always, but I've thought about that in recent years, that, and I don't mean this disrespectful to anybody who goes to a church, so please don't take it that way, but it's like each one of them is trying to sell a different brand of Jesus, and that's what it is. It's, they think of Jesus and Christianity and all that, and their doctrine in a different way than the others, so they disagree. So it's like, this brand of Jesus, that brand of Jesus, Church of Christ brand of Jesus, newly Reformed Baptist brand of Jesus, United Pentecostal Church brand of Jesus, etc. So, but that's not the issue. The issue is that this idea of calling themselves the church. So I thought, there's one way in which I believe they could call themselves, or a denomination could have the right to call themselves the church. They form sports teams. Let's say football, for example. It's going to be football. Okay, for my example. So each denomination will have its own football team. So what they'll do is, there are sub-denominations, right? So that there's a Baptist church, and that is a denomination of the Christian faith. But there are numerous sub-denominations that are Baptist church, that fall under the Baptist umbrella, but they disagree or whatever, and therefore they have a different sub-denomination. Okay, so each of those sub-denominations would have its own team, but it would be under the Baptist division. Just like the NFL has the divisions, the conferences and divisions. And college does too. Well, okay, so the churches there would be the Baptist division, and then it would have its multiplicity of teams that fall under the Baptist umbrella. There would be the Methodist division and its multiplicity of sub-denominations, which would have their own teams. Catholic, on and on a Lutheran. So it would obviously be a male-dominated sport, just like football, because a lot of churches, not all, I understand, but they don't allow women in the ministry. And this would certainly be considered part of the ministry, because these teams are going to determine, or how well the team plays is going to determine if that particular denomination or sub-denomination earns the denomination the right to hold the title of the church in America. So they would compete in the games and have playoffs and then go to the Super Bowl, but they wouldn't call it Super Bowl. They'd have to call it something like the mega church. They call it the mega church. So whoever won the mega church and won that game, they would have the right, and them only, to be called the church for that year. Everyone else is a heretic. That's just how the way it would go. You win, your denomination is the true church. You're not part of that, or the church. You're not part of that denomination, you're a heretic. Just for the year, though, you would get to compete the next year and try. You get to try again. So, I think that's a great way to do it. I think it's a great solution. And you think about it, the Baptists, I kind of picture this like the Baptists playing, one of the Baptist groups, they're playing. When they score a touchdown, they would run down there, score the touchdown, pick up the ball, hand it to the referee, and get on down and form for the next play. Line back up for the next play. Lutheran, probably the same way. A Catholic would make a touchdown, drop, and probably do the sign of the cross. But a Pentecostal? Oh, man. A Pentecostal's going to get down there and hoop and holler and roll and flip and shout. If anybody is going to get penalized for excessive celebration, it's going to be the Pentecostals. And they're probably going to get that call every game. But yeah, and think about their crowds. The Pentecostal crowds would be the most lively. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I mean, the Baptists would play, and you know, it would probably be much more quiet. Like, say, the Baptist crowd, the Catholic crowd. But all the Pentecostal denominations, dude, that's going to be the lively crowd. I'm telling you. So I think this is a way to be a relatively peaceful solution. And I don't think the attendees would have to pay. They probably wouldn't charge them to come to the game, but they would pass around a bucket. I think around the stadium, 20,000 people in the stadium, whatever, 30,000. Oh man, they could make a killing. I think this is a good idea. This is really a good idea that I think needs to somebody needs to talk to maybe the NFL about starting it up. I don't think you could talk to the church about it, because who's the leader of the church? Is there such thing? I mean, a Catholic would say it's the Pope. Who would a Baptist say is the leader? I don't know. Billy Graham, or is Billy Graham still? I don't know if Billy Graham's still alive. But anyway, you get my point. So they'd have to go to somebody like the NFL to start this whole thing, or maybe what's the Microsoft guy's name? Gates. Maybe Bill Gates could do it. Somebody with a lot of money and proven track record of success in business. But man, I'm telling you, this is it's a huge untapped market. I think it would be great. It would surpass the NFL in a fan base. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the way to do it. And if that worked out, and I think it would, but if that worked out, then they could take it to the other religions. So forget about holy wars. You could turn this whole debate about religion and these conflicts among religions into holy games. I mean, that's freaking awesome. Yeah, I think so. What do you think? I'm going to welcome comments this time. Maybe you can put the comments on Facebook and we can start a little bit of a dialogue about this. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this is a solution that's you think's really has a possibility of making it. Okay, that's it. Good morning. Good morning. Have a great day, guys. Bye.